some of the obstacles that archaeologists encounter on an often daily basis include the geopolitics of the places where you're doing the archaeology. You may be working with governments that are not democratic. They may perceive you as asking too many questions. They may sometimes wonder if you're taking the objects from their patrimony, their culture, and stealing them, and maybe trafficking in artifacts. They may worry that you're going to discover something that their archaeologists should discover because you're an outsider, and maybe they'll think that you'll be taking the glory from their national heritage group. That's why we try to collaborate as often possible with other archaeologists from those cultures. So we share the work, and it makes it easier to get the permits if we collaborate with other archaeologists. And some of the obstacles are not just political, some of them are physical. For example, sometimes you're in a sleeping bag and you don't realize it until you climb in that you're sharing your sleeping bag with other things. You have to check very carefully. I've shaken out many a scorpion or centipede or even snakes from sleeping bags, depending on where you are. Sometimes the physical challenges of working in a place include very extreme temperatures. In the Alps, it can be snow and sleet and rain and cold temperature. In the desert, it can be high temperature and aridity, so that you can be dehydrated or sunstroke can hit you. The mountains may be of rock that is so slippery you can fall easily and break bones. You're not close to, you may be in a remote location where there's no ambulance that can come get you. You might have to have helicopter insurance instead. And you can also be dealing with local infrastructures in a developing world that may not have the best services. Sometimes I can tell you from experience that I've been on planes that have caught on fire where the whole wing is engulfed in flames because it's not maintained by American FAA standards. There are all kinds of obstacles that you can have. But one of the worst obstacles is not being prepared to go on the field, not doing your prepping, not doing your homework. Someone has said that half of archaeology is done in the library. And certainly, it's true that you have to have a huge amassed data set before you ever engage in the field. So the research that goes beforehand is really important. You can get on the field and find you can't ask the right questions because you didn't prepare enough. You didn't know enough about the culture, the time, the place. And you can be out in the field and you can see the geology in front of you, but what's underneath you 30 feet? If you haven't looked at a geological map beforehand to know what the underlying geomorphology is, you're losing some of the data too. So good preparation is a huge asset for field work.